Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Always Almost There, Day After Show Live. We are here today to talk about yesterday's show at Park City Song Summit. This is our first day after show since the end of June, so that's pretty cool. But I'm here, of course, with my good friend Neil. Hi, Neil.
Hey, man. It's good. It's good to be recording again. We did one just a couple days ago, and here we are back in the saddle once again. It's great.
Yeah,
it's great. I miss it.
Me too. And it's good. And 6 whole weeks without seeing a Goose show. And so last night was, much needed. I hadn't seen Big Modern live in 6 weeks either. So I was going through withdrawal.
Yeah. Yeah, that can happen when you don't hear Big Modern for 6 whole weeks. Actually,
6 whole weeks.
To be honest with you, I've been enjoying the time off of Goose.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of Eggy, which, I always feel like I need more time to listen to other bands. So when Goose doesn't play, it gives me that opportunity. And it's been fantastic, man.
Yeah, it was. But it's great to see them again, catch the new songs, etc. But let's dive in. We have a whole day of Goose related stuff to talk about. Park City Song Summit, really, really cool festival. They started off, so there are some labs and like panels that they do in conjunction with the shows. And so yesterday afternoon, there was a panel with Rick, Peter, Taylor and Griffin from Dawes, and Eric Krasno, just kind of talking about life as a modern rock and roll musician, basically. Really cool hour. Not a ton of stuff from Rick and Peter that we hadn't heard in previous interviews. But I do want to say that there was a Q&A at the end, and the first guy to get the microphone used the opportunity to ask the dumbest possible question.
Whoa.
Did
he ask where the name Goose came from?
No, that would have been better. He was like, so Rick, what do you think about all the people online who are wondering if the Jed in Jed Stone is Tennessee Jed? And Rick looked at him and was like, I love that for them. And I was like, great. And there were only 3 questions that we had time for, and that was one of them. And so
it's a waste of a question is what you're saying.
Definitely a waste of a question.
But at least that's now debunked. We no longer have to wonder if Jed Stone is in fact Tennessee Jed.
Personally, I wasn't wondering about it.
It never even for a moment crossed my mind, to be honest with you. But I mean, the guy was curious and he had his shot. He shot his shot and he got his answer. So
yeah,
I don't know if it's the dumbest question ever. There are several dumber questions.
I definitely could have asked a dumber question. I contemplated putting my hand up and just being like, Peter, what's your current jam of the year?
That would have been a dumber question.
That definitely would have been dumber.
Would have been relevant content for us and the few dozen people who are super into Jam of the Year, and the rest of the universe would just be shaking their heads saying, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Yeah.
We're going mainstream now. Hey, Jam of the Year was on Rick's shirt. So it's all mainstream now. Everybody knows about the Jam of the Year.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows about the Johnny of the Year. So there was the panel. And then later on, Terrapin Family Band was playing before Goose, and with the absence of Graham Lesh, they were down a guitarist. So I felt like it was pretty obvious that Rick was going to sit in. And I will say, we have said before when talking about these Graham shows that often Graham is kind of a little bit in the way of, in this case, back in March, Rick and Krasno being able to really do their thing. And yesterday, just having 2 guitarists on stage for a while was really cool. Watching the 2 of them do their thing. I don't know if you caught that part of the stream.
I have not watched that yet. No, I
highly recommend that everybody go check out the half step in particular. Yes, Ian, the half step went hard. The jam was phenomenal. Krasno and Rick have such incredible chemistry. And he stayed up there for Brown Eyed Women after, and then Taylor from Dawes came out and they did Bertha, and there was a really cool, 3 guitar. They were all having a blast as a windstorm started.
Yeah, I did see the clips of Rick
It
kind of
was
looking at the stage like he was afraid it was going to fall down.
all of them were. After one of the songs, Taylor was like, "Are we safe? Like, is it like they like lowered the PA? You know, we were like getting hit by clouds of dust.
Hmm.
It was wild. And they had to stop the set early. I'm pretty sure Trevor was supposed to sit in as well, but we didn't get there because of the wind.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, but the Rick sit in was really cool. You know, getting to see him rip Grateful Dead songs, and I don't think he had ever played with Adam McDougall, who's the keyboard player from Circles Around the Sun, who was the keyboard player yesterday, and he played in like every band this weekend. But he's one of my favorite keyboard players, and he started this synth solo, and Rick immediately was like,
nice.
It was awesome.
I love it when you get those reactions out of Rick.
Yeah.
So I'm not familiar with Terrapin Family Band. So is Graham usually in Terrapin Family
Yes,
Band?
the Terrapin Family Band is Graham Lesh, Alex Koford, who's the drummer, Ross James, who plays guitar, Jason Crosby, who also wasn't able to make it to Park City. And then yesterday's lineup had Krasno, Jen Hartswick, and Nikki Bloom, and Adam McDougall, as I mentioned. And Ross James played bass because of and Phil was in Terrapin Family Band, I think, when he was live for a while. Not 100% sure on the logistics behind this band, but it was a cool set. So Goose played yesterday, of course. Interesting to note, from a gear perspective, of course, they flew across the country after playing in Philly on Friday. So most of the gear was rented, and historically, Peter has rented a Rhodes in place of his Vintage Vibe when they backline stuff, but they didn't do that this time, which I thought was interesting. I think they're just going for like he can use the, the whirly patch on the Nord for these things, and they don't need to deal with the whole thing. So for those gearheads like me, Peter only had the Nord stage, a clav, an organ, and the OB6. So.
And he did bring his guitar. I think it's important to mention that his guitar and his pedals made it.
Yeah, across the country. Now they were planning on playing a couple of guitars, and Madhavan was on the set. Listen, they weren't getting through that as per usual. They had 2 60-minute sets.
Yes.
So getting Dripfield and Madhavan in to that second set was not going to happen.
Why didn't they do just one, I don't know, 90-minute set or whatever, like, 100-minute set? It just feels weird.
Play for 2 hours.
Yeah, the 2 1-hour sets is just, it's awkward because just when the set kind of feels like it's getting going, like abrupt end. First set especially, where I was just kind of like,
Dustin was like,
like, I need something after that,
Absolutely, yeah. Or take a 15-minute break so you can have a 75-minute second set.
Yeah, like a real set, 75 minutes.
Yes, Garrett. The wind died down, thankfully, before it was time for Goose to go on. And the sunset was gorgeous. There were people, Peter shouted them out, people watching the show from like the side of the mountain that was behind us, which was cool. But anyway, let's dive in here. This Echo to open, I think, is my favorite jam of the night. This is fantastic. I was expecting it to be a 5-minute Echo to start, but they open this up into a really cool melodic space. Peter doing that thing that he's been doing a lot lately, with like the doubling the clav and marimba piano, and just creating this beautiful melody that they then built off of. But loved this to start.
Yeah, I mean, well, Echo of a Rose to open a show is pretty awesome. And when they went into it, I wasn't really sure what it was at first. It took me a while. There were a few songs,
right? It was
actually the next few songs.
It was a different intro. I forgot about that. Yeah,
everything had a different intro last night. At least it felt like that to me. But in any case, you're right. The space that they do find in this, and they find it quick. It's this weird space between type 1, type 2 kind of jamming, where it still felt very much like Echo, but the melody that they found was really, really cool. And they all got there right away. So yeah, was an efficient use of that time. I don't know how many minutes exactly this was. It wasn't very many, but it
I think
was
it was like
really, really
11
cool.
or 12,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. I mean, but this is a jam. Like, this is a short jam that I would love to listen to a lot. Like, it's really, really engaging. You know, they find the end, and it feels like a very natural conclusion at 12 minutes, right? Like, it doesn't feel like they cut it off.
Yeah. And, I have to say, this kind of jamming is great because they can fit this into a festival set. They're not feeling like they're extending things out and making it, I don't know, inaccessible for the festival audience.
Yep.
And all in all, I like the way that these two sets weave together in terms of the quality of songs and jamming throughout. I mean, this is the ideal festival set if you're going to go out there and play the hits.
Absolutely.
I think.
Absolutely. Speaking of the hits, Silver Rising up next with the album kind of synth marimba intro thing. Second time they've done that. They did it in Guildford at the end of June as well. But yeah, good. I mean, Silver Rising, solid.
It was good.
Yeah. And then Royal Madalena, which, second time they've been played back to back. I mean, I don't think this is a good indication if, this is going to be a thing that they always get played together, because, these two shows, you're kind of like going into Philly, and last night I was like, we are absolutely getting these two songs.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I was actually not clear on what this show was going to look like in the end.
Well, that's why you didn't win Fantasy Goose last night.
Oh man, I got absolutely crushed in Fantasy Goose last night.
Who won, by the way?
Well, I tweeted about it. I don't know.
We'll get to this. We'll get to this.
Okay. Yeah.
But Royal and Madalena live, absolutely phenomenal. I now never need to listen to the studio versions again once the boards from this come out, which is great.
Yeah. Although I might be going back to the studio versions, to be honest with you. I absolutely love these recordings.
Yeah.
In fact, just to pause for a moment to talk about these two songs, the recordings of these are just so ridiculously good. That whole album is just insane. And I love that these are now getting paired. Honestly, man, more songs should be paired. They the Grateful Dead did it. Fish doesn't really do it. Goose should get back into it. This should be a thing that should be brought back into, the jam band universe, this idea of paired songs. And these two fit so well together in terms of vibe and lyrically. Obviously, they're very well tied together. So I love these two together. And yeah, you kind of get Royal, which gets you kind of up and moving, and it's like a little bit of a funk thing. And then you get the ballad that ends
beautiful.
Big. It's so cool. I love this. Absolutely love this. And they're going to play the hell out of these two songs. I mean, this is every third show for sure between now and the end of the year. And I am not going to be mad about it one bit.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. It's going to be amazing. And yeah, Matt Ross, Goose is upgrading to stadiums next summer. See you at SoFi. I don't know if we're going to get stadiums, but I'm curious if one of these songs breaks through.
I tend to believe that Madalena is going to be quite a big number that people are really going to like. This is one that you put on. So I was down at the beach with my family this weekend, and extended family. So I had like in-laws and things like that there. And I put this on, and everyone was like, this is pretty good. What is this?
And you're like, yeah.
So it's got that kind of approachability, right?
And then you played in the Grand Rapids Montavon. Oh, you liked Goose? Here's a...
Yeah. Then you play them Big Modern or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just like, wait a second, this is not my thing at all. But no, it's kind of amazing the reach that the song is going to have. I think it's going to change a lot of things. I've been saying it for years. It's just going to take one song, and then it's all going to go haywire. And I think this one might be the one.
Yep. After those two, we get Flowdown, Dustin Hoffman to close the set. I will say Flowdown is the only pick from this show that feels puzzling to me. Like you're playing the hits, you don't have a lot of time, and you play Flowdown. Not my favorite. Intro's cool, as most of them have been this year. But didn't really need it.
You know what? There was a tweet about this. I think I forget who it was who was tweeting about this, skeeting about this.
Was it the one in defense of Flowdown?
Yeah, in defense of Flowdown.
That was friend of the pod, Brian.
Huff. Oh, it's Brian. That's right. It was Brian. And I tend to agree with him, man. It's Flow Down is fine as long as it's not the centerpiece of a show. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's just another song. And his argument is why do people get all excited about the fact that they're playing Flow Down in a negative way? And I don't understand that too. It's a fun song.
Yeah.
There is that, the reworked intro has actually made me rethink the song entirely, because my big problem with the song before was just the awkward 3 minutes of right before the song starts, and you're
just
can't really dance to that thing, and it's like
yeah, right.
And
Now they're doing something.
Now they're doing something with it. So I have no dislike for this song, and the lyrics are good. They're happy. They make you want to get up and party.
These lyrics are happy.
It's all about the party.
Yeah,
these lyrics are happy.
These lyrics are happy. Yeah,
exactly.
And then Dustin, fantastic way to close out the set. I mean, solid little jam and peak here. And this is a great sunset song.
I thought the jam was really good in this. It's dark and it's mysterious. It's airy.
A lot of sauce.
It's saucy. There's all kinds of good stuff to listen to in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have to throw this one on and listen to it a bunch more. I don't know. But I liked the space that this went to. I feel like Dustin Hoffman tends to go to very predictable spaces, and this was not super predictable. So it's a neat version that is worth listening to more than once, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I do definitely need to go back to it. But yeah, it was cool last night, and great way to close the set. First time Dustin has closed a set. But it did feel like this jam definitely could have kept going, but they were like, we're at 60 minutes. We need to end the set.
And also word on the street, according to chat, is that Hot Tea was supposed to close the set, and that would have been more.
Yeah, the written set. They also cut Born from the set. They were supposed to go
what a
Flow Down, Born, Dustin, Hot Tea.
Born is such a good song, man. They need to play it way more.
I would have liked Born instead of Flow Down.
I agree with that. Although vibes wise, I think they were probably going for a little more pep. So
after
Flow Down
Madalena,
is the obvious choice there.
Right, Madalena into Born might have been a little
sleepy.
Yeah,
a little
too down tempo. Well, speaking of sleepy, this second set is not that.
None of that.
If you're going to put together a 60-minute festival second set, this is pretty fantastic.
I agree with that.
I think it looks better on paper if you have Big Modern to open rather than Hot Tea Feel It Now. And I was thinking about that last night, just in terms of the way that my brain kind of perceives a set on paper. I look at Hot Tea Feel It Now to start, and I'm like, oh, that's not very good. But they very easily could have gone Big Modern, Feel It Now, Jedstone, Hot Tea, Empress, or something like that. And because the improv would be at the beginning, it was anyway, I digress. But I was worried, however, that they were going to eat a third of the set with Hot Tea. Which they didn't.
They did not.
It was 13 or 14 minutes or so, which is good. And, both of these songs, Feel It Now, it's back in rotation, which is good. We didn't see it for the majority of Summer Tour. This was great. And then Big Modern.
Yeah. I like the way this set
flows.
Talk
about the Hot Tea Feel It Now.
Hot Tea to open set 2 is pretty decent. It's fine. I think our problem with Hot Tea is we've just heard so many over the years, like a million of them.
Yeah.
And like you were kind of saying, it can go on for quite a while. But this is a festival staple that is just brought back, and I like it here. I think it's a good place for it. And I Feel It Now right after. We gets a little goonsy in there, a little bit of goons.
A little bit. I was hoping that we'd get a little bit of goons. We went back to normal Empress.
Yeah.
When Empress started, I was like, you have 12 minutes. Do a little goons. But no.
It makes you wonder if there's no goons in this show, will there be no goons this fall?
I don't
Are they
think
going
this
to
is an
walk
indication.
away?
They didn't have, the time. But it's interesting to see if Goons ends with Summer Tour. That's.
I sure hope not. I love it.
They should hit the Dave Matthews Band crowd with a gnarly Goons tumble, play a 20.
Well, I feel like that probably is a safe bet.
Yeah. Anyway, so this Big Modern, it does Big Modern things for 15 minutes or so. Unfinished again, which What are we doing here?
Jam in this Big Modern. I'm usually a Big Modern detractor.
You are.
Because Well, somebody has to balance you out because you overhype every Big Modern. And so I feel like I have to come in with the like, well, it's good, but not that good. But I like this jam a lot.
Yeah.
I've listened to it. This is the one that I've listened to more than once since.
Mhm.
And I like where this goes. It just reminds me that I do really like this song. It's such a great piece of a second set when it's in there. You get a jam that you kind of know where it's going to go,
Yeah.
but it's still super fun.
Yeah.
And this was good.
Yeah, it was great. And Trevor was cranked up last night. So really, really punching through the mix.
Yeah, he had a lot of little
fantastic.
extra bite. He just sounded different, which I'm sure was his backline equipment. But
yeah, backline amp.
yeah,
But I liked it. He sounded really, really good. Yes, Leighton, I agree. I also want to bring back more Dark Winter Goose.
well, I'll say this actually: the mysterious jamming throughout the night last night.
Yep.
Leads me to believe that kind of maybe is on their minds. Maybe they want to do a little darker stuff because the jam in Echo felt a little dark and mysterious. The jam in Dustin Hoffman felt a little dark and mysterious, and you kind of got there too with this Big Modern. So,
well, and I think as they
kind
move,
of a thread.
I think as they play more indoor shows, and it's fall, maybe we get some of that coming back. But anyway, back to this second set. Big Modern. I will say, if you're going to be unfinished, you use that to kind of transition into the beginning of Jedstone, fine. And Jedstone is the greatest.
Jedstone's pretty awesome. And the guitar tone that Rick has when he plays that solo in the middle of it, like super fuzzy indie rock sounding guitar tone, is incredible. I hope that shows up in more songs because I absolutely love it. I thought it was just going to kind of be a studio thing and only the studio thing, but it's obvious that he is carrying that effect into the live show. And Jedstone it's another one, man. It's just such a good song.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited that these songs are there. I was listening to the Jedstone today, and I was thinking to myself, like, why did they not play this for years? They had this in their back pocket.
Because they love to, Rick loves to be like, hey, you guys know how I have a lot of sick songs. Well, I wrote this one 15 years ago, and it's like the best song ever.
Well, I mean, that's the point that I'm trying to make. There's all these songs that they keep kind of pulling out of the back catalog.
I'm sure
this one should have been around since 2019. I just can't believe it wasn't.
Yeah.
But it is a tricky song to sing. It has a vocal part that I think most people can't pull off. When he does like the down by the riverside, like that part.
Yeah.
And that probably, I don't know if it's a pain to sing, but it's a dangerous line to sing. Not everybody can do it. Rick obviously can do it because he can, sing like a bird, but
he can do anything.
Yeah, but like I think back in 2019, he was still on the arc of figuring out his own vocals and his confidence with his vocals. Because if you go back and listen to the old stuff, Rick wasn't always an amazing singer.
No,
and I think
even you go back to
that.
like 2021, he sounds like a completely different singer than he does now.
Yeah, so maybe that was the reason why they've waited so long to take this out. But it's a great song for a festival set. I love this in the second set. I want it to live in the second set forever. It can't 100%. Go into the first set.
This is an ideal second set cooldown for sure.
It's the best. It's the best one they got. Well, aside from this old C, but it's killer.
But C also was a jam vehicle. So like, this is the best one that is not a jam vehicle.
There will be a jammed out Jedstone. So
I would love that.
We can begin the charge here.
Yeah,
folks, when you go to the show, bring signs.
Jedstone.
And make signs, maybe T-shirts.
Jam
out Jets. Yeah. And not Tennessee Jet.
Not Tennessee Jet.
No.
We should make sure it's to say not Tennessee Jet on it.
Not Tennessee Jet. So I want to pause for a second and stop talking about the show and just kind of start talking about the music and the songs and all of this stuff, because I've been thinking about this stuff a lot lately. I had a conversation with Jake from Meggie about the songs and kind of, building a repertoire of songs for people to go and check out. And I think Goose is getting there, and fast, where you can go to a whole show and just listen to the song. Like, they don't have to do the jams. They can be just like,
whoa,
Let me finish. They can be one of those bands now. The interesting thing about jam bands is we make concessions for every jam band ever. They're like, well, they're not this kind of band. They're not a non-jam band who goes out there and plays a catalog of amazing songs that you go see. Like, for example, like Vampire Weekend. You go to see Vampire Weekend because the songs are great, right? You go to see Goose because they jam, but they're starting to bridge that gap into the middle there, where you could just go see them and they could just play straight up songs and it'd be sick. Arablo is a good example of the fact that they could do that and get away with it, right?
Yeah, but
so the
that,
GQ
dude.
article that was out there got me thinking about all of this stuff, and there's like a quote in there where he's talking about an analogy his friend had where with jam bands you kind of have to peel back some of the rind to get to the fruit, as it were.
Goose is all juice.
Goose is all juice. And I was thinking about that when I was listening to this set specifically, and I'm just like, they are all juice. You don't have to make any concessions. The songs are good, the vocals are good, the jams are good. It's all there. And that is why we're going to not really sure what's going on there, but yeah, that's why they're going to fill even bigger rooms. It's just going to keep happening because it is the complete package. And last night was kind of an indication of that. Jed Stone just being in the second set just makes me think that. It's so cool.
And I mean, I think last night's set is just like perfect, and audibling Empress to close, besides the fact that it put me over the top for winning Fantasy Goose, was a fantastic pick. I was expecting it to be Drip for sure in that slot, and they had it on the written set. So the written set for the second set last night was Feel It Now, Big Modern, State of the Art, Drip, Jed, Madhavan. So obviously with 60 minutes, you're not getting Big Modern, Dripfield, and Madhavan unless it's a 3-song set.
Yeah. It's funny. I love AEIOU, and like it could go in any set, but I wouldn't have wanted it in last night's set because it would have taken a place of a song I much rather would have heard.
I mean, it would have been that or Jed.
Right. And I would rather have Jed.
And I love that they didn't play any covers last night.
Also great.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they necessarily need to anymore.
No,
they've got all these songs. They got to play the songs.
They've got all these incredible songs.
Just, it's weird how the last 2 albums have tipped the scales almost immediately, and it's only like 4 songs that have changed everything. When I say 4 songs, I'm thinking about Royal, Madalena, Iguana Song, and Dustin Hoffman, and just the addition of those songs to the catalog, it turns everything on its head. It's weird. They can build a show
Iguana,
like this.
Really?
I love Iguana Song.
Well, I love it too, but you think it has that kind of impact on the catalog?
I do. I think they're writing high quality music right now.
Yes.
And when, Rick was interviewed, I guess a while back, he was talking about how his songwriting has been at a trickle lately instead of nothing. And I think we're now seeing the fruits of that all of these months later, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And so that's the end of last night's show. And then obviously Rick joined LPGOB late night again, just like a gonzo. He was wearing normal clothes this time.
No top knot.
No top knot, no kimono or whatever it was. He came on stage and ripped. It was awesome. It's
interesting, that whole vibe, because you would think that wouldn't work so well, but I heard some clips and it seems like he's actually getting better at playing with LPGOB.
Yeah, I agree. He sounded great. I don't know if he's practiced playing along to, DJ sets at home or, what have you, but it sounded great last night. And as somebody that's not really a DJ person, Rick being on stage was great because I was more engaged.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
I will say, so how we always joke about the fact that like Rick doesn't know like iconic classic rock songs or whatever.
Yes. So you do get that vibe sometimes.
Yeah. So like when he clearly didn't know Moby Dick and had learned it that day. So last night, LPGOB did like a Freebird, she does Freebird. And I'm like, if Rick knew the guitar solo, he would absolutely play it here, but he does not.
I don't think he's going anywhere near Freebird.
He played Freebird. It was there.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that the song was there, but I don't think he's going anywhere near that guitar solo.
Yeah.
It's such a cliche at this point. So,
Garrett, thank you for reminding me. The Broke Down Palace remix was not okay.
Not okay? You feel like an injustice has been done?
I think so. They also, it was funny. It was the last song of her set, and the remix doesn't go through all of the lyrics. So Garrett and I sang the last couple of lines after she finished.
I
had a moment though. Like I like the LPGOB thing. It's fun, but the Broke Down was not my thing.
You're a Grateful Dead purist. Well, I have bad news for you, Ryan Storm.
What?
If you are in fact a Grateful Dead purist, you should never go see LPGOV Dead Set because
I'm
you're
such
not
a purist
getting.
that I'm going to see J-Rad 3 times this weekend. So.
Yeah, that's a lot of J-Rad. Good for you that you can do all that J-Rad.
Thank you. Well, we're just rambling at this point now. So that brings us to the end of this day after show. Thank you everybody for joining us on your Sunday afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks? Is that what it is? Yeah.
Just like
Iowa?
12
Is that
days.
where
Yeah.
we're up
August
next?
28th at the University of Iowa. Free show. And this will be good. First Goose headline show since Westville. Curious to see what they do there, given that it's a free show at a university and only their second time in Iowa. I'd be really excited if I went to the University of Iowa and Goose was playing at the free show.
Yeah, they just blew the entire entertainment budget for the University of Iowa
Like
just to have these guys.
The entertainment budget. They blew the entire budget.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
They'll have nothing else for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're going to have a great night. But we will see you guys for the day after show for that one. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Thanks, Goose, for a great show last night, of course. I don't know why. Like, earlier this year, I went 3 months without seeing Goose, but like this felt like I needed a Goose show again. So last night felt really good personally.
I think, I don't know. That's a lot of Goose. You're hooked on the Goose, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is fair to say.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
we should do this again in a couple of weeks.
We'll see you all in a couple of weeks. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. We love you very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you soon. Peace.